Good morning, economic developers. This is Next Move Group's live morning show for economic developers, Chad, Alex, and Allie. And we are now getting ready for Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The weather's perking up. Sunny today. It is cold, but it's going to be warm next week for our event. We've had a rush of activity this week. This week, we have had more proposals for executive searches and various studies than we have in a while. So you would know that would hit right before we go to our conference. Matter of fact, I don't think we can do a live show tomorrow, y'all. I have got 4 or 5 Zooms in the morning, and Allie just added one. So unless y'all want to do one without me.
Well, I think that I can cover the one at 12:30.
Okay,
we
awesome.
have some. Alex and I have a secret project that we're going to talk about at the conference that is going
Oh.
to take our
Yes,
day.
tomorrow we're going to be
Yeah.
very, very busy
Yeah.
trying to get all that
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, oh yeah, tomorrow we'll be busy and right up to the conference. And a lot of people have so our conference starts Wednesday around noon, and a lot of people are texting me they're getting in on Tuesday, which of course we'll be there getting everything set up. But for me, that means I'll do Mardi Gras from next Tuesday until the next Tuesday. See, all y'all go home, and y'all will be
Not
done.
all of them go home. My
No,
favorite
they don't.
thing is when we be Sunday or Monday, we'll get a random text from an economic developer we haven't seen in 3 days. It's still running around town and enjoying themselves. So most people go home, but not all.
It's gonna make a long Mardi Gras.
And we got a lot of people staying for Endymion this year. So I know we have one extra ticket. If anybody is interested, it is coming to the Mardi Gras conference that wants to stick around for the Endymion extravaganza. Let us know.
Well, and see, my birthday's Sunday, and Sunday's Super Bowl. So, I need to rest up for what's to come. But it's birthday and Super Bowl, so I don't know. This is about to be a very, very long week. But
Sounds like you
it's
should
something-
probably fast on Monday.
Well, I hadn't ate anything today. I'm drinking this coffee, so maybe my fasting would do me the trick.
You lived in
So
New
I-
Orleans. You're built different. You can handle it.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, and historically, I have taken the Sunday of Mardi Gras to rest. I've done it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I rest and ready again Monday, but I don't know if I'm gonna rest or not this year. And if Super Bowl's got to where it hits during Mardi Gras, that used to not happen. Super Bowl's been moved back a week. It used to be the week before. NFL's added a week to their schedule, and so this whole Super Bowl running into Mardi Gras is a new phenomenon that now happens. So one of the things we're going to do today is go over our conference agenda. Some of you watching this are coming to our event. I've had 4 or 5 texts from just this morning of people saying, Chad, I'm getting in Tuesday, even though the conference starts Wednesday. We don't have anything official, but should we get together? And of course, the answer is yes. So we will talk about that real quick while we wait on it. It is the Super Bowl. I feel like this Super Bowl don't have much buzz. Now, maybe that's because I live about as far away from New England and Seattle as possible. And I went to last year's Super Bowl because it was in New Orleans. So maybe I'm just not into the Super Bowl this year, but it don't have much buzz to me. But Alex is 4-0 with his football picks on our show. And since this is the last game of the year, Alex, I'd hate for you to ruin it and lose this one. So do you have a pick for us, and then we'll get into our show?
I've got several plays, but I've got one to give out, and I do not mind losing because going 4-1 on 5 picks is a damn good record. So I hope people have been tailing these plays. They have definitely overperformed.
So you teasing us? You gonna give us the pick at the end of the show? You don't want
I
to do
can
it
give it
now?
now for those that have tuned in quickly. We are going to. I think it's going to be a very close game. I do think that the adjustment that the market has made to Seattle is not accurate. So I lean a little bit with New England at +5. I probably wouldn't play him at the current number, but my play for you all is going to be Hunter Henry over 3.5 receptions. You can get it about -130. I would play it up to -140. I see it's -130 on Bookmaker. Seattle's defense, Mike McDonald's defense, excellent at shutting down the run with just 4 up front. The best I've ever seen at it. And because of that, they play a very shell look over the top on defense, which creates a lot of running back screens and tight ends. For any of you fantasy players, you know that Seattle was 29th against tight ends this season. So the tight ends, usually you can throw over the middle and underneath. So I think McDaniels, Josh McDaniels, the OC for New England's going to know that. I think Hunter Henry is going to catch small passes, screen passes early and often. And I would play that up to -140, him over 3.5 receptions. Plus, Drake May's going to be a little nervous, which also leads to some quick, easy throws. And Hunter Henry's done great this year. So look for that. I'll put the 4-0 record on the line, and hopefully it is going to be a great and profitable game for everybody.
Do you feel like this Super Bowl doesn't have the buzz of some of the ones in the past?
I don't know. Probably. A lot of it is, I think, due to the college football and just how long it stretches out now with the other week and the football playoffs stretching out and the bye week. I mean, it's a lot of football from preseason at the start of August and all the way through now.
And that stadium in San Francisco is way out. It's in, is it in Santa Clara? It's
You're right. It might be the location of the Super Bowl this year. There's not much about that. And
the stadium's it's an hour from the city, so they're having all their events. One event will be in San Jose, one event will be in San Francisco. I think it's all scattered. Where when you come to New Orleans, like last year, everything's right there. And rumor is New Orleans may be getting the 2031 Super Bowl. So hopefully, because last year went great, so hopefully that will come to fruition.
They
But
need to have it in New Orleans every 3 years. Vegas, I know Vegas is going to get it. Nashville will get it soon, their new stadium. But they need to quit taking it to a lot of these locations and focus in on
Nashville's
4 or 5:
walkable.
Miami, New Orleans, Vegas.
No, don't go to Miami.
Miami's far out from the city.
Yeah,
but it's
Super Bowl.
It is, but it's a good Super Bowl city. Everybody loves going down there to party on South Beach, and they say it's really good for the fan area. So say with Indy's just cold. They say Indy's a real good place for the fan area.
Well,
When the Super Bowl was in,
I, for one, am the minority Titans faithful and fan that wants for Vrabel to win this. So, go Pats.
well, Nashville will be a great Super Bowl city. I mean, everything's walkable. But yes, when it was in Miami, the Saints won, so I went.
I don't know, Allie, what's the weather forecast Sunday in Nashville?
It's supposed to be warming up. I think it's going to be like mid-50s.
Oh, okay. Well,
But they're going to have a dome. Nashville's getting a dome.
I know, but you still want to walk around. We've been to the SEC tournament where it's been so cold we couldn't go out and enjoy the city.
That's true, but I'm telling you, in Miami, when you get ready to come out, they don't have an easy spot to get taxis and Ubers. That stadium is in the middle of nowhere.
I've been to that stadium.
I'll tell you one thing, and then I know we need to hop into the show topics. But Nashville Soccer Stadium was just announced as one of the host cities for the Olympics soccer matches. So that will be kind of a test of large-scale events on the national or international this go-around stage. So we'll see how the city can handle that and how logistically that goes. So
That'll be nice.
I
And
think
Kansas
Nashville
City is
can
very
have-
excited for the World Cup, the games that they've got. So
yep.
Well, let's get into our conference agenda for those of you coming. So our conference is going to begin next Wednesday in New Orleans at 1 o'clock. We're starting at 1. Feel free to come register. I believe registration opens at 11. So we're starting at this coming Wednesday, February the 11th. We're starting at 1 o'clock. But a lot of people have been texting me today that they're getting there Tuesday. Well, we don't have any official plans Tuesday. So just text us or email us when you get there. I'm sure some of us will be, having dinner somewhere or whatever. We'll be happy to tell you where we are and have an informal gathering, so to speak. But the conference is actually going to start at 1 o'clock on Wednesday with opening remarks. And as far as the opening remarks, I will welcome everybody to Mardi Gras. And then we have Michael Hecht, who is the CEO of the Greater New Orleans, Inc., which it is the 7, 8, or 9 county in Louisiana is called parishes. But anywhere else you'd call it a county. So it's I can't remember how many, but 7, 8, or 9 of the counties, parishes around New Orleans. It's a regional economic development organization. He will welcome us, as will Jerry Bologna. He is with the JEDCO, Jefferson Parish Economic Development. If you ever fly to New Orleans, you land in Kenner, and then you drive through Metairie to get to the city. You're coming through Jefferson Parish. And so we always like to start our event with welcoming you to Mardi Gras, but also talking about the good things going on in the New Orleans area from an economic development perspective. And there is a lot going on. With all kind of announcements of minerals projects and chemical projects and steel projects. And so, everybody thinks of New Orleans for Bourbon Street or whatever, but there's a lot going on in the economy. So that's how we always like to start our event. So that will be basically at 1 o'clock. Then we're going to transition to Bob Hess. Bob is a mentor of mine. I've known him for 20 years. He's helped me immensely. He's actually overseas right now. He's flying straight into New Orleans, I think, from Saudi Arabia. And his speech is going to be on reshoring. Crazy $1 billion projects with reshoring. Of course, he's a member of the Site Selectors Guild and a legend. in site selection. So he is going to be our first site selection speaker after our opening remarks. Then we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to have something we call a parade of partners in the spirit of Mardi Gras. We have a number of sponsors. We could not do this conference without our sponsors. And we want to get, as many people knowing who's there as possible right out of the gate. And so basically around 2:00, after our opening remarks and after Bob's speech, we're going to have a parade of partners. Alex, are you going to march people in with Mardi Gras music playing, or how you going to get them in?
You know it. I love marching with Mardi Gras music. So when you go to Plushieville, you might need to pick me up a nice umbrella. If we don't have any from the last
probably need several umbrellas, yeah. So basically, we want our sponsors to get up and give an elevator pitch of who they are and about their organization. And so one of our key sponsors, St. Petersburg, Florida Economic Development. Well, we're going to have 8 or 10 site selectors there. I think we got 10 site selectors coming. I don't know who's getting there when. But so, for the communities, Alex, my vision is they will talk about their recent existing industry expansions, who's there, what's going on. St. Pete, I want to hear about. Did I see the Devil Rays are actually going to play this year in the Dome? Is that what I saw?
They had to fix the Dome for the Rays to play, but I doubt Mike's going to get up and talk about the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, no, I'm sure he'll talk about other stuff, but I want to ask you about
You might have a drink and he can give you the inside baseball on that at night. But yeah, he's actually done a great job with some headquarter projects, an international headquarter project they announced last week. I got another announcement coming. So St. Pete, where I now call home, is booming, and they're doing a great job.
So our sponsors are going to get up. If they're a sponsor from a community, their elevator pitch will be to the site selectors. If they're a sponsor from a service company like us, obviously they'll tell the economic developers what they do. So our sponsors are St. Petersburg Economic Development, Alliance Consulting Engineers out of South Carolina, ACT Work Ready Communities, Greater New Orleans, Inc., ECS Limited Engineering, Central South Carolina Alliance. That is a regional economic development group around Columbia. South Carolina, Santa Rosa, Florida Economic Development. Santa Rosa is down on the beach, kind of between Destin and Pensacola. Tangipahoa Economic Development. That's over a little bit north of New Orleans. Brassfield and Gorey, one of the biggest industrial contractors. Michigan City, Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Arizona Public Service, Arizona Power. Alex, this is the waste management. We keep wanting to go to waste management golf tournament is this week, but it always hits right around Mardi Gras. So we got to find a time to go to that when it's not Mardi Gras. Convergence HubSpot for Economic Developers, Southwest Mississippi Partnership, which is the Natchez area, a regional partnership down there. Retail Strategies, Insightful, Greater Paducah Economic Development, where Alex and Allie are from. Conway Data and Site Selection Magazine, Clayco Construction, Research FDI can help you generate leads, and Winchester Wealth. If you are getting some of this bonus money that a lot of economic developers are getting, you got to invest it properly. So we got Winchester Wealth there. And then Aura, which is a social media and influencer company, also we got to add to our list today.
Allie, do you know why umbrellas are so vital to march around with at Mardi Gras?
I do not.
Well, that is protection from the beads being thrown at you, because that is actually dentists' number one busiest time of the year, because those plastic beads will come and knock teeth out. So I always have my umbrella as protection, not from the rain, but from flying plastic goodies.
Sounds like we need to, next Mardi Gras, get a dentist as a sponsor then.
That is actually a good idea.
Hey, I don't mind getting hit with a bead. I've been hit with a shoe before. So on Thursday night, the ladies throw high heel shoes. They decorate them all
No,
year.
they're beautiful, glittered.
And you'll get hit with a shoe. And interestingly, years ago, so Zulu throws coconuts on Tuesday morning, Mardi Gras morning. And it would knock people out. And the city had to pass an ordinance that now they have to hand people their
They hand them now, yeah.
They hand them. They can't throw it to you anymore. They can't throw it to you anymore. So I still think the throwing will be fine.
Well, I'm glad they throw the shoes, because on your birthday dinner at one night, I caught a shoe, but somebody was trying to throw it up to the balcony. And we were walking below, and they didn't get it all the way up, so it hit the edge of the balcony and fell down right into my hand. And I had a good time with that shoe all night.
Well, and all of these traditions are what I love about Mardi Gras. You know, when people hear Mardi Gras, they never been. They have one thing in their mind. It's just this great big party, and it is a lot of fun. But it really is traditions. I mean, Thursday night, the parade that we will attend with the site selectors and conference attendees is the Crew of Muses. It's a super crew parade. It'll be 30 or 40 floats, and it's all female crew. And they throw high heel shoes. Now, they'll also throw all kind of, frisbees and footballs and beads, but their famous throw is a high heel shoe, and they decorate it. They work all year decorating it. What people don't know is those crews are extremely charitable. They give all kind of money to they're all nonprofits. So whatever money they make, they give out into the city of New Orleans and Louisiana and other places to help the community. And so that all goes into it. But yeah, that's Thursday night. Friday tradition, all the business people in New Orleans go to the French Quarter. And if you walk through the French Quarter, so if you go to Bourbon Street most any time of the year, it's all tourists. But on the Friday of Mardi Gras, if you go, you're going to see lawyers dressed up in their suit and tie, doctors, accountants, and so forth. It's kind of the only time of the year that all the locals go down. So every day has a different tradition, and that's very much what I love about it. On Saturday night is the biggest Mardi Gras parade in Endymion, and it actually brings floats through the Superdome where the Saints play football. And there's always great entertainment. This year is Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. And that means a lot to me because my nephew who died of cancer, the last thing I did with him before he got sick was took him to that Mardi Gras ball. And he had a great time. The entertainment was Alex, who's the guy we saw at the Masters?
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker was the entertainment. He was great. So Saturday means a lot to me because I spent it with my nephew. So I love Mardi Gras. I absolutely love Mardi Gras. And if you come with us, you come to this event, we're going to hopefully get you to loving it too. And I love everything about it, from the traditions and all that you might not think about. Alex has done it all, but this will be Allie's first one. So we'll see how she stands on it. After we do the parade of partners, where it sounds like Alex is going to march them in with umbrellas. And he's right, the umbrella can fight off the beads for you. Historically, umbrellas are needed in New Orleans because it's so hot. You have to sit under it in the summertime. But Ray Methman is going to talk about social media do's, don'ts, and disasters at 2:30. And what do you do if your citizens go rogue and all? Allie, I'm not going to say where, but Allie sent me a post this morning of a city council or county council
administrator
meeting where his wife showed up and confronted and said he was having an affair and all in open forum and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
Yeah, you get all these alerts, Allie. You're always in the know of what's going on around the nation.
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot and like to research and keep my finger on the pulse. You never know when that information's going to come handy.
Well, I'm looking forward to Ray's talk at that. And then at 3:15 on Wednesday, we're going to have a group of folks from the utility and engineering and public works part of the world talk about economic development timelines now. I mean, as more projects need more and more electric power and more water, what can communities do to keep up with this timeline? How do you prioritize? How do you go back after this conference and convince your mayor, your county officials to spend money on this when they have other needs like jails and roads and all? What is realistic nowadays with infrastructure? If you don't have an A-list site, what do you need to do to get in it? At 4 o'clock on Wednesday, we're going to talk about a new program we're rolling out. We're going to roll it out where we have a number of services for members. We've had a membership program for 5 or 6 years now, and our members get to come to Mardi Gras for free. Next week, we're going to roll out a lot of new services that our members also get. We're going to roll that out at Mardi Gras. I'll give you a hint. We're adding an event. In addition to this event that we do in New Orleans every 2 years, we're going to add an event in the odd year. And the first one's going to be in Nashville next year. We have not got the date set yet, but we might have it by Mardi Gras. We might announce that next week, and that event is going to only be for members. So we will talk about it there. Then we're going to end Wednesday with Lacey Beasley from Retail Strategies talking about how to grow sales tax revenue in your community with retail recruitment. We then will have an opening night reception in an open garden area. Alex, I saw it's going to be like 78 degrees, but I saw that we may have a chance of rain. Hopefully we'll miss out on it. Usually in New Orleans, if it rains, it only rains for 5 minutes. But did you see that? We might have a chance of rain.
I haven't looked. I just try to think positively that it'll be fine. But even if it does rain a little bit, there is a covered area in this garden where we're having, it's going to be in the French Quarter. Beautiful location. Some of it's covered, so even if it rains or sprinkles a little bit, it should not derail the party in any way. And another good use for your umbrella to carry around if it actually is raining.
That's true. So we're going to have mini muffaladas, boudin balls, meat pie, shrimp, remoulade, stuffed mushroom, beignets, and oyster station at the opening reception. And so we'll want our folks to obviously visit with the site selectors and all the sponsors and so forth. Thursday morning, we're going to start back at 9 a.m. with a site selectors panel. On our first panel on Thursday morning will be Bob Hess with Newmark, Mike Mullis and Denise Mullis with J.M. Mullis out of Memphis, Hal Johnson out of South Carolina with NAI, and Tommy Kurtz right there out of New Orleans with Avident Advisors. At 9:50, we got a session on what is the business community's role in crime prevention. Last year, on January the 1st, in my little hometown of 900 people, 3 people got shot at the gas station at 5 or 6 in the morning, shot and killed. At the very same time, a terrorist ran over 15 or so people in New Orleans. And it hit me. I wouldn't have been safe in the little city or the big city. It has nothing to do with Republican, Democrat, metro, urban, rural, either. It's just what it was. And David Rumbarger and I talked, and David said, Chad, our profession is young, the economic development profession. I mean, if you really think about it, it's only been a profession for 60 or 70 years compared to some professions been 100 years. He said, maybe there's a role for us to get the business community involved in crime prevention. And so we kind of sent a little survey around, and multiple people said that they had ideas. And so I don't know where this discussion is going to lead, but I'm interested in hearing it. New Orleans has done a tremendous job of getting crime down. This terrorist came in from outside. He was not a New Orleans person. But as far as overall crime, New Orleans has gotten it down. And they've done that by getting the business community involved as well as the faith community and others. And it's working. And so what I want to do, we've got David Rumbarger from Tupelo, Grady Fitzpatrick, and it may end up being somebody else from their team who handles most of the crime stuff for Greater New Orleans Inc., Mike Neal from Tulsa, Ron Kitchens from St. Louis, and I want Bob Hess and Mike Mullis to talk about the fact that now site selection consultants are looking at crime, particularly for headquarters projects. And I just want us to talk about how does this go. And sometimes when you talk about crime prevention, it ends up being that only happens in the big cities. And that's not where I want this to go, because I'm telling you, on January the 1st, in my hometown of 900 people, if you were getting gas, you'd have been shot. And it's as small a town as is possible. And so I just want us to all talk about, when our attendees go home, is there something they can do to get the business community involved in that? At 10:35, we've got a data center panel, and boy, data centers in the news now. So this will be a great panel. We got Josh Finn with Stack Infrastructure, Chris Pumphrey, he's a local economic developer in Georgia that's landed some data centers, Kelly Patton with Arizona Public Service. So we're going to talk about really what communities need to think about when you're recruiting data centers. They create tremendous tax revenues. I mean, some of the tax revenues they spend off will build you a brand new school. I mean, tremendous benefits to have them, great paying jobs. But with that comes high utility demands. And so there's just some stuff that, you need to think about. I think this is probably, we put this panel together a year ago, and now data centers are more in the news than ever. So this is a feature panel, and I think we got the very best people possible to talk about it. At 11:20, Tom Wingler's going to talk about lead generation. Allie, did you see that thing he's bringing? He's got a big target. You throw a ball at it. Did you see
Yes,
that?
yes,
on LinkedIn.
I did. I'll be popping by his booth for sure just to see what that's all about. So,
yeah, so he's going to talk about lead generation for economic developers and how to use HubSpot, which we have HubSpot, but we don't use it properly. We need to learn how to use it for ourselves. That afternoon, we got Rob O'Brien's going to talk about disaster preparation. He was the chamber CEO in Joplin, Missouri, when the EF5 tornado came through many years ago. And Joplin's recovered tremendously. But he can tell you the preparation ahead of time, what went wrong, what went right, This was our most popular speaker at our last event, so we're happy to have him back. We've got Cherry and Jason from ACT going to talk about workforce development and using the ACT work-ready communities. We think that it's really one of the things that make you stand out to show the talent you have and what they're capable of doing. And so we're highly supportive of that program. Brian Darmody is going to talk about university research parks and creating innovation districts and what universities do. He is with the Association of University Research Parks. He's going to talk about what cities and regions can do to grow their tech-based economies. Trey Harrison is going to talk about cybersecurity risks. A lot of municipalities are facing fraudulent invoices from these cyber crooks. Every time you turn around, we got cyber robbed last year, or maybe 2 years ago now, time flies. Of $120,000 we got robbed. Luckily, our insurance paid us all but $5,000, but it was a headache to deal with. And municipalities are getting fake invoices and all every day. And so that's one you probably don't want to miss. University of Tennessee is going to talk about where all they're innovating, not just in Knoxville, but across the state of Tennessee, and how universities can help across the state. So we got Victoria Hirschberg coming, Dr. Brett Malone, Dr. Mina Sardapi, and Paul Jennings to talk about what University of Tennessee is doing. Jeff Andrews with the business of child care is going to talk about how communities are addressing child care to compete for talent. Allie is an expert Googler. She found the other day that women were leaving the workforce at like a 4 times rate of men. I may be a little off, but I'm in the ballpark, Allie.
Yeah.
And some of the thought process is that's due to a lack of child care. One of the things we can do is show you demographically how many child care seats you're short. Well, what Jeff Andrews' group does, Business of Child Care, is they will actually build a strategic plan with you to fix it. So not only do you need, 500 more child care seats, they will come in, and it's not a one-size-fits-all, and work with you to build a strategy to fix that. So we're very, very excited.
Well, and just on that, his session, not only do they do the strategic plan, but they have a product, like an actual building that once the strategic plan is done, that they can bring to communities as well. So I don't know enough about that side of it, but I'll definitely be attending that panel for sure.
Eric Canada and his daughter are speaking on how AI is affecting site selection and economic development organizations. Eric's a legend in the economic development industry, had synchronous BRE for a long time, and now they're working with AI. And it's all you hear, AI. And so that ought to be great. By the way, for our members, all these sessions are going to be recorded, or as many as we possibly can. So our members will be able to look at these later. And some of these are breakout sessions, so you can't go to both of them. And so later on, you'll be able to come through for members only, if you would like. And then we have Shane Hooper and Brad Giroux talking about strategic planning for chambers and economic development organizations. So Shane has run both chamber and economic development. Brian's run a chamber, and they're going to talk about strategic planning for both of those. We then will conclude with Mike Robbins and Chad Stovall from Anchorage, Alaska, and Clarence Holtze from Michigan City, Indiana, talking about creating attainable housing. In Anchorage, they have literally their economic development group, which I think is called the Community Development Group Authority. They have become an equity partner and invested, I think, in some very nice downtown housing. And Clarence has done a tremendous job in Michigan City, Indiana, of getting housing built. And so that ought to be interesting. And to hear it from really 2 different perspectives. If Anchorage, Alaska can do it, because you got to think, cost of housing up there is expensive because you got to get materials to it. If they can figure out how to solve it, we all ought to could. Then we will conclude with a final site selectors panel of Ford Graham with McGuire Woods, Courtney Dunbar with Burns and McDonald, Joe Hines with Timmons Group, Pat Hanlon with KBKG, and Stephen Hattier with HRA Community Partners out of New Orleans. Finally, we will have a closing reception at the Residence Inn overlooking the Super Crew of Muses Parade. That's the all-female parade that throws the shoes. We'll have oysters, shrimp, red beans and rice, chicken and sausage, jambalaya, muffulettas, po' boys, meat pies, chicken tenders, and we will probably bring in some snack food like pizzas and whatnot. And that will last until the parade is over. So it'll start around 6:30. I think we're going to have the food out about 7. Is that right, Alex? And
That's
then
the plan, yeah.
it lasts till the parade's over, and you don't know when the parade will be over. Some of these Mardi Gras parades roll fast. Let's say rain was in the forecast, which it's not. But if it were, they can speed up. Sometimes they have a flat tire, and they run 2 hours late. So basically, we'll be at the reception till the parade ends, but obviously you're free to leave whenever you want. If you get good and tired of it, we'll be there. And I know some folks are sticking around until Friday or Saturday. So
and I do want to say, for those of you all who are still interested in coming, you can still register. So feel free to go to our website.
Yeah, one of our members just texted me, Alex, that she has somebody that's coming with her. I didn't know, so that's good.
Good. I know I had people reach out this week or last week asking if registration's still open, and it is, and there's still some hotels. I'm not sure there's still hotel rooms available at our price block this late, but there is still rooms at the hotel that we're staying at. And we have a cancellation or two, so they may be able to get you in our price block. But if you are interested, it is not too late to get on down next week and join us.
If you get into the city on Tuesday, the city will be dead because everybody's resting up for what's to come, basically. So you'll have no problem getting around. You'll have no problem getting a dinner reservation. The hotel room should be very reasonable because literally the city is quiet. Probably the quietest you'll ever see New Orleans because everything's about to ramp up. And so that's kind of the last day people get to rest. But one thing I want to mention, this is a real thing. Y'all are going to laugh. Y'all are going to laugh. People at the parade will literally, especially if they're not from the city, people will literally stick around after the parade to watch the New Orleans Public Works Department clean the streets. It is a thing. If you don't believe me, Google it and put in there, is anybody crazy enough after the parade's over to wait 30 minutes to watch the city of New Orleans sweep the trash? They are. Hundreds of people. If you come, now most people by then have scattered about. But if you want to see something that, really pertains to economic development and public works, it is a whole to-do. Basically, about 30 minutes after that parade's over, the city comes through and have multiple machines. They have people out in front sweeping. They have a watcher that comes behind, and all of that trash is gone. And literally, I have friends that tell me that's their favorite part of Mardi Gras. Alex, have you ever stayed to see that?
The best is Tuesday night, how quick they do it when they end Mardi Gras. But yeah, it's very, very efficient. It reminds you of a Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
New Orleans takes a lot of flack, but let me tell you, they know how to do that. And it really is something to see. If you and your community have people complaining that your public works don't do stuff on time or whatever, you come watch that. Allie, I'm going to make you stay out and watch the trash being picked up. You going to be okay with that?
Yeah. I have plenty of public works clients I can talk to about that, so it gives me a talking point.
Yes, it is absolutely a thing. And so we're looking forward to it. We've done this now 6 times, I think. No, I think this is number 5. When we started it, we only had about 30 people show up. We really didn't have a formal agenda, and it's grown over time. And I had to thank Bob Hess for helping us grow it. I mean, he's come nearly every year, and he's my mentor on the site selection side, and everybody respects him and knows the quality of projects he works. So I think he's really helped us establish it, and now we've had a lot of people come. I do want to say this. 2 economic developers unfortunately passed away suddenly. None of us knew they were sick, and they had been to, I think, every event we had. And so we're going to start our event by having a moment of silence for them. Mark Litton is one in Putnam County, Florida. He passed away over the Christmas season. Allie, was it sepsis? Do we know what happened?
No, not for sure. Just said it was sudden.
But he just got sick all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And he was in Indian River, Florida, former basketball official, huge Ohio State fan, because anytime I would complain about Ohio State getting a call or something, he would let me know. And Rick Clifton passed away last summer, just all of a sudden. I had seen, and he was in the Andalusia, Alabama area as the economic development director. He had been to every Mardi Gras event we had, as had Mark. And I think both of them were registered to come to this. And I had Zoomed with him the day before, and he was perfectly fine and fell over dead the next day. And so we will miss both of those. And I didn't plan to say this, but I would remiss if I didn't say we're going to start our event with a moment of silence for them. If I think that Jacob in Covington, Alabama, who worked with Rick, he's now the director. He may not be there right when we start. I think he said he had a prospect visit, so we may wait till he gets there. But either way, we're going to have a moment of silence for both of them, as they both were gone too soon and very sudden, very sudden. But for those of you who are coming, again, let us know Tuesday when you get into town. Our first event is not until Wednesday. But if you get there Tuesday, feel free to let us know. So with that being said, Alex, you got your football pick in. Is there anything else?
Well, I just looked, and the line's already moved to -131. So Next Move Group must be moving the lines right now on the Hunter Henry prop, or we got a lot of people listening. So
3.5 catches is a lot of catches for a tight end, Alex.
no,
Yeah.
paid me in my own peril. Your own
All
peril.
right. Well, we will not be able to do a show tomorrow because I have got 5 or 6 Zooms in the morning, so we won't be
We'll
able
be
to do
live
that.
next week. We can be live next week from the show for a few minutes.
We'll
It may
probably
be about
do-
a 2-minute show, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably do a live one Wednesday morning from the hotel. Is I guess what we'll do, and go from there. So looking forward to seeing y'all. And again, we go out of our way. I love Mardi Gras. I love everything about it. I love the community of it, the culture of it, how it brings the city together. I love the charitable aspect of it. I love all of it. And we go out of our way to make this conference really useful for you. I mean, we want to have great speakers. We want you to go back with something useful. We don't want you to just feel like you've been to New Orleans and had a good time. Although that's part of it. We want you to really take something back home. We've worked hard at it. So I hope y'all will enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.